Hello everyone, this is Suneve, and I'm coming to you with A Killer Romance, a Jeff the Killer X Reader by Dark Queen Ray. Now, this is a little weird because I am currently wearing a fucking motorcycle helmet and I've got Bluetooth earbuds in. So if this sounds a little weird, I mean, it should be connected to my normal mic, but I don't know. My ADHD brain was like, hey, wear your helmet for some reason, and now I have it on and I crammed some earbuds into here. So yeah, it's an interesting experience to say the least. Um, but yeah, let's get started. Chapter 28, Limit, Endless. You gaped at Jeff. His face was now just how it was on the first night, smile ear to ear, and eyes wide open. His soulless persona penetrated through your weak and deceived barrier, making you break under the pressure and the shock. The pain you felt wasn't only in your side, it was in your heart too. No matter how many times you tried to fool yourself into believing everything was okay, in the back of your mind you knew this was a possibility. There was a good chance that this would happen, and you were ready to fight for your life. Jeff's grip became less firm as he saw your face, so with adrenaline pumping through your veins, you pushed him away. He was shocked at your rebellion, but he wasn't ready to give up just yet. He reached out as you started to move backwards, but he couldn't grab you. As you ran down the hallway, the pain got less intense. In fact, it almost disappeared. All you cared about at this point was surviving. Nothing was going to stop you from escaping. You found the front door and slammed yourself against it, trying to turn the handle. You twisted it both ways, but it wouldn't move. "Oh, I am," Jeff called out. "Let's not play games now." You heard his slow footsteps echo through the house. Every step scared you more and more, and your heart was beating louder than ever. If the sound of you trying to open the door wouldn't give you away, the pounding in your chest would. You realized that the door was firmly locked and nailed in place. You darted to your right and bolted up the stairs, skipping steps. You depended on your subconscious effort to memorize your house, as it was almost pitch black there. It was dark throughout the entire house, actually, as the only light that had been turned on was in the kitchen. You trusted your instincts on where to go and turned the corner into the hallway, feeling your way to your room. You noticed that the door was closed and it would surely make noise as you opened it. You silently cursed and backed away from the door, but quickly leaped back on it when Jeff called out again. "Come here, Wyan. There's no point in running." His words echoed up the stairs and through the hallway, alerting you that he was close. You pushed your way into your room and locked your door behind you. While trying to think of a plan, a cold hand grabbed your shoulder from behind and another was placed over your mouth. You gave it a muffled scream, confused of who it could be. "Just sit tight, he'll be up here soon." A male voice spoke into your ear. You had no clue of who it was until you realized he was wearing a lab coat. Your eyes widened and you started to try to get away and out of his grasp. This was the taxi driver, the one that visited you that one night, and he was on Jeff's side now. When your expression changed to shock again, someone else stepped out of the shadows, lit up by the moonlight coming from your window. Her hair was long and black, and her eyes were soulless. Her dress and lips matched that aura, and so did the tone of her voice. It was that girl that attacked you in the elevator. "You've reached your limit now," she mocked, hands resting on her hips. You tried getting away, being more violent this time. You bit the doctor's hand, tried to kick the girl, both failing. Before you could try anything else, a third voice spoke. "Jane, save the kidneys for me." You widened your eyes at the thought of your organs being ripped out. Almost gagging, you let out a cry. "Don't worry, we'll make this painful," the doctor announced. You felt the tip of a needle run down your arm, and you reflexively jolted to the side, and as you felt it on your skin again, you heard Jeff's footsteps outside your door. With another wave of adrenaline, you turned your entire body and banged your head against the doctor's, making him stutter back. Before Jane or the other entity could do anything, you leaped towards the door and whooshed it open, putting Jeff's face right in front of yours. "Well, look who it is," he said, grabbing his shoulder. Before you got a good grip, you spun around and ran past him, practically bear crawling down the hallway. You started to fly down the stairs, but you slipped towards the middle, making you hit every step with your back legs. You were lucky that your head wasn't injured at that point. Jeff was right behind you, and he grabbed you by your hair, pulling you back up the stairs. You screamed in pain and tried to free yourself. When you were at the top, you pinched his hand, digging your nails into his skin. He groaned and let go of your hair, trying to get your hand off of his. You got up as quickly as you could and slid down the steps, holding on to the railing. You limped towards the back door, hoping that you could unlock it. You got closer and closer, and then heard the clock on the wall ticking, reminding you that you had to move as fast as possible, as Jeff was right on your heels. You were just about to reach the handle when you slipped on the wet towel you left on the floor and fell face first in the hardwood. You felt a pain in your shoulder and heard a loud crack as it hit the floor. By this time, Jeff was already standing over you. He spun you around onto your back and sat on top of you, pinning you down. Shooting pains ran up and down your shoulder, neck, and back, forcing you to let out a couple tears. As your fear showed in your eyes, Jeff smiled even more. "If you only had listened, you wouldn't be in so much pain yet. he said, reflecting on your broken shoulder. He held his knife in his right hand and pressed it against your cheek. You did everything you could. Scream, buck, hit, push, and none of it worked. This is the most exciting kill I've ever had, Jeff declared, laughing. I knew this was a great idea. You gave up on trying to get away from him and closed your eyes. By this time, a stream was flowing down your cheek and onto the knife. Well, darling, I hope you enjoyed your little fake romance, Jeff mocked, leaning down towards your ear. He finally got the fear he wanted, and he was almost satisfied. The realization then washed over you. A killer is a killer, and even the ones they love can end up being killed. In one last attempt to get him back to the way he was, you opened your eyes and quietly asked one last question. Didn't you love me? Jeff froze at that and stared at you. All time stopped, and you and him stared at each other, possibly just waiting for the other to speak. As you both tried to dwell on the question, you felt the knife on your cheek lose its composure. I did love you at one point, Jeff muttered. As soon as he finished his sentence, you sent your hips flying upwards, making him fall off of you towards the left and hit his head on the table. You scurried upwards and shuffled to the back door. You unlocked it and pushed your whole body through the exit. You heard Jeff call out once again, but you zoned out all noise. You focused on the ground, plastering your feet to it. You ran at full speed as the house flew by in slow motion. You felt like you were on a high, zooming past your room window and looking up at the doctor who was staring back at you. You flew into the street, taking cover under a street light. You looked to your right and you saw headlights facing you, but they weren't getting any closer. You took off towards them, silently screaming for help. Two silhouettes came into view, and you were relieved to see one running towards you, the police badge on the chest reflecting a sparkle into your eye. As you reached the officer, your knees gave out and you fell into his arms, and you knew you were finally safe from that monster. You turned your head back towards your house to see Jeff running towards you. He was calling out to you, but your ears were ringing. Making eye contact with the officer, you gave him the silent answer he was looking for. He turned his head back, gave a command to the other guys, and started carrying you towards the police car. On both sides, your saviors were shooting towards the middle of the street, trying to hit the murderer. Jeff then darted off the road, zooming around the back of another house. The officer lowered you down to the car and then immediately sent the order to chase after the runner. You closed your eyes and leaned back against the headrest, breathing more steadily. After all you've been through, you wanted to relax, finally. Only a minute later, someone jumped in the car and took off with you. They tried to talk, but you didn't reply. Your eyes got heavy and you slumped back in the seat knowing that you were on your way to a hospital. You dreamed about seeing your parents, reuniting with your friends, and going back to school. You wanted things to be a little more normal again. Your dreams often turned into nightmares after that, usually involving Jeff and always ending with you being killed. You eventually got used to it. After all, your life was about to turn into a nightmare, a vision, a touch. And he's sitting by your hospital bed, and this is where your story truly begins. Author's note, yes, there should be a sequel. That is the end of that. Let me know if you guys want me to read the sequel. The sequel is called Nightmares, Sweet Insomnia. But, let me know what you guys thought about that. Also, this is a really weird feeling wearing a helmet while reading these. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's okay, though. It's been an interesting week. I've been locked out of some apps for some reason. But yeah. I don't know. I'm so tired. I apologize for it being so late with me posting. If I'm gonna be honest, I took a nap after work because I got off work around like 1 p.m. and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap, and I just woke up. But let me know what you guys think about that, and I will see you guys in the next video. And if y'all want the sequel, please let me know. Bye bye.